Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe if you're new here, and today's video is going to be a full coverage Friday video. So happy Friday. And I don't really have a lot to mention, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit throughout the video, kind of explain things just in case you haven't seen my last video. But if you want to follow me on any other social media, you can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter. Those will all be linked down in the description below. And if you want to know like what products I'm using throughout the video, please check the description box because all the products will be listed along with all the shades and whatnot. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Also, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Join our little family, help us grow. And I don't think I have anything else to mention right now, so let's go ahead and jump into this video. The first thing I want to mention right now, just in case y'all didn't see my last video, is basically all of my acne is back, and it is back with a vengeance. My skin is very textured. I have been avoiding making my full coverage Fridays because I've been trying to get my acne under control, and nothing is working for me right now. So you know, why not just get back to doing full coverage Friday, because I know a lot of you guys suffer with acne that looks similar to mine or is similar to mine, and these videos are very helpful for you guys. So I don't want to deprive you guys anymore just because I feel like I'm hiding behind my acne, and I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like I'm being suffocated by my acne just because I was getting used to having clear skin. It does suck, but you know, these things happen all the time. So I'm done letting it affect me, my mood, and my YouTube and everything like that. If you want to know why or kind of like what's going on with my skin, go watch the video before this one. I explain everything in a lot more detail. But this is truly a great test for full coverage foundations, so that is a good thing about this. But my face is very textured, and it isn't like my acne before. Like, it's nothing like the same kind of acne I had before when my skin was bad. It's a lot different this time. My skin's very textured. I have a lot of pimples. I have a lot of blackheads. I have a lot of like really big painful pimples, like cystic pimples, and it sucks so much, but you know, it's okay. I'm trying to get over it. So I'm happy that I'm back doing full coverage Fridays. I know you guys miss these videos. I miss making these videos. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this now after I explain myself. I'm gonna be using the No POREBLEM primer from Touch in Soul. I feel like this is gonna help even out that texture just a little bit, if anything. But I'm gonna put this all over my face. Also, my skin, since it's been changing, is oily now. It's not dry anymore. And when I say oily, guys, I mean oily. It is so oily. I'm not used to it. It's very weird for me. But just in case you're wondering like what skin type I have, it's definitely oily. So the foundation I'm going to be using today is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. I am in the shade 27 Bisque Neutral. But I'm going to be using a brush and a sponge. I'm going to be using a sponge on this side, a brush on this side. This is a Morphe M439 brush and the Real Technique sponge. I'm going to start with the sponge side first, and I'm just going to apply this with a little concealer brush all over my face. I know that this foundation is very full coverage. I have tried it in the past, and I didn't like it in the past, but because my skin is oily now, maybe I will. We'll see. So I'm just going to go in with about that much at first, and then we'll build up if we have to. So I'm just going to start pouncing this in. Like, do you see how full coverage that is? It's like full coverage. Very full coverage. I could have probably went in with less. Wow. I don't have to build it up with a sponge. That's saying a lot. Look at how full coverage this is. Whoa. I look like I'm wearing a mask. This is a little bit too light for me, like a hair too light. Hopefully it's too light. Hopefully it'll oxidize a little bit. I don't know if it will, but if it does, it'd be nice. Okay, so that is one layer on. Let me put some down my neck really quickly. It looks really good with the sponge. I know my texture is out of control. I don't know if you guys can tell from there, but when you get the close-ups, you will see it. My texture is crazy bad, guys. There's no way to hide it, really. But the foundation is sitting on top of the texture pretty nicely. And I don't look like I have any pores, which is nice. It's just my texture is really bad. But it looks really good on, even though my skin is so bad right now. And then it covered completely with the sponge with one layer. So that's really, really awesome for this foundation. I haven't had a foundation that has covered in one go around with a sponge in a while. I don't know if I have ever, but definitely in a while. I keep getting foundation in my hair. Okay, so we're going to start on the brush side now. I'm going to go in with a little bit less product than I did over here because my skin usually it covers a lot better with a brush. So I'm going to not use as much over here. I think I'm going to go in with about that and then see, hopefully that this covers everything over here. So again, just pouncing motions. This foundation feels really, really light. It doesn't feel thick at all. It's not like the thinnest consistency, but it does feel really, really light on the skin. Okay, so that is it completely on. Holy crap, this is too light for me. Hopefully it looks better when I put some concealer on and bronzer and stuff. I know I look ghostly right now. We're gonna fix it though. We're not even gonna worry about it right now. It'll look better when it's done, okay? Just kind of take my word for it. It does look pretty decent on the skin. It looks a little bit heavy with the amount of texture that I have, but it doesn't look horrible. It's covered everything really, really nicely. So I'm gonna give you guys a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about, see how it's sitting on my skin while it's just like this by itself, and then I will update you when I'm done with all my makeup. I don't know if it's gonna dry flat matte. If it does, I won't have to set it, but if it doesn't, then I will set it and I will let you guys know if I do or do not. So here's a full face view. Here is the sponge side. Does that not like blend right there? Here is the brush side. So I will update you in just a minute. Okay, so my makeup is completely done. If you're wondering why the lighting changed, I kind of made it a tad bit warmer because I felt like it was a little bit too washed out. Hopefully it looks okay when I'm editing the footage, but I'm still kind of working on how to make the lighting so that it looks appealing in the video. But the foundation didn't oxidize, so it's still fairly pale. In person it doesn't look that bad, but on camera it kind of looks a little washed out. But the match isn't horrible in person. The foundation did have to be set with powder. It did kind of look a little bit more cakey after I did that, but after I set everything with a setting spray a couple of times, it looked really, really good. So it looks pretty good now. And it is currently, I want to say it's 3. It's currently 3:08, so I'm going to say I've had this on since about 2:30ish. Okay, so like I said, this is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation, and it is $55, so this is a very pricey foundation. There are 22 shades of this foundation, and it is 0.75 ounces, so you're not getting a full ounce like you do with most foundations. It is a little bit less. With the amount of coverage it has, I wouldn't mind that because a little does go a long way. I probably could have used a lot less than what I did, and it still would have covered really, really nicely. And honestly, I feel like the less is more with this foundation. I feel like it'll look better if you use less, and you'll still get the full coverage effect of this foundation. The finish is natural. That is why it didn't dry down to a flat matte, but it says it could be for combination oily skin. I agree with that. I don't feel like I would ever, I've had dry skin and I've tried this foundation and I did not like it with my dry skin. It broke up on my chin and it just didn't look good on me. So if you have dry skin, I wouldn't suggest this foundation at all for you. I would skip out on it. But if you have oily skin, which a lot of people who have bad acne typically do have oily skin, there's just a select few that have dry, but you guys who have oily skin, you'd probably really, really like this foundation. I would say give it a try. But yeah, those are all of the details. Oh, this is supposed to be a soft matte finish and it's supposed to wear it for 24 hours. So Hopefully this wears really, really well. I feel like it's going to because it's so matte, but we shall see. So I will update you guys at the end of the night and let you guys know what my thoughts are. So here's a full face view. Here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. Alright guys, so I am back and it is currently 9:58, so it's about to be 10 o'clock. So I've had this on for about 7.5 hours now at this point, and I have a few things to say about it. So one, it controlled my oils really, really well. I did not get oily at all, which is great because I have been getting super duper oily lately. So like with the weather change and like my skincare change and everything like that, my skin is very, very oily now, and it didn't get oily. However, it does look a lot cakier now. It did kind of settle into my pores right here and then in between my brows. Also, it is creasing right here, my smile lines. I don't have smile lines like that. Like I've never had problems with my smile lines, but because I have so much acne surrounding my smile lines, this part of my cheek is really, really like puffed up and kind of swollen just because of how much acne is under this area right here. So I have smile lines right now, which is weird for me because I've never had smile lines. But it is creasing in the smile lines. It didn't really rub off or anything, which is great because I always have a toddler messing with my face. However, it did kind of rub off the tip of my nose, and I'm pretty sure it's because I kissed my husband earlier when he came home from work. But other than that, it stayed put everywhere else. So yeah, those are the only things that I've really, really noticed. I do feel like this is going to be a good foundation to wear like in the daytime, like when you're working or something, because the coverage is really good and it stayed put for the most part, but towards the end of the night, I'm usually a little bit more active. So like I'm dealing with my toddler, I'm cooking dinner and cleaning or anything like that. I'm just doing a lot more than what I would do like in the daytime. So if you're just a lot more active at night like I am, then I probably wouldn't wear it at night. But if you have a pretty calm day, like if you're just at work and stuff, you're not really like messing with your face or anything like that, then I think it'd be a really good foundation. It did stay put pretty well. Those are just the things that I noticed, is that it just settled into my pores, and then it got kind of cakey around my smile lines. That's all I have to say about it right now. So if you have oily skin, I think you're gonna like this a lot because my skin is like overly oily. Even when I put this foundation on, my skin was super duper oily. So if you have oily skin, I do think you would like this foundation. If you have dry skin, I don't think like at all you would like this. When I had dry skin, I did not like this foundation. So if you have dry skin, I would just steer clear of this. But if you want to try this foundation out for yourself before you decide to purchase it, because it is a pricier foundation, please go get a sample of it at Sephora, so that way you know it's going to work out for you versus buying the whole thing and then like having to return it or whatever. But I'm going to give you guys a close up really quickly so you can see what it's looking like on my skin. So here's a full face view. So as you can see, it just kind of rubbed off this part of my nose, and then let me see if I can zoom in to my pores and smile line area. So it just kind of settle into my pores, and then right here, my smile lines, it is creasing into my brows as well. Here is the sponge side. Right here I just kind of had a like scab and it peeled off, so that's why it looks like that. Here is the brush side. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me and waiting on this series to come back up, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of time off of YouTube and not giving me a hard time about it. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Bye!